Care if I give it a rip?
Go for it.
She's in neutral, right?
Yeah.
Well, greetings everybody. I'm in Huntsville and I am gonna go visit Pat from Southeast Vintage Cycle Rescue on this trip. How cool is that? First thing I need to do is grab a car, and at that point I think there's three things I need to do. I need to see the Saturn V rocket at the NASA Museum. I need to find some crystal sliders, and then we need to go find Southeast Vintage Cycle Rescue. So let's get a car and get on the road. Yeah, I think Pat has a top secret project he's gonna have me help him work on today. I'm not sure exactly what it is yet. I guess we're gonna find out. This is gonna be a blast. I hear they got some nice big A's in Huntsville. Unfortunately, this one looks closed. You know, I've been all over the country, and I gotta say that 94.7 out of Huntsville is gotta be the best radio station I have ever heard. I mean, seriously, does it get any better than this? Oh, there it is. Crystal. Yes, sirree, Bob. Ooh, 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 that road's something right there. All right. Oh, I'm so excited about this.
Thank you for choosing Crystal Time. I'll take your order.
Can I get number one with cheese? No mustard on the burger?
What to drink?
Iced tea?
Anything else?
That's all?
$9.91. Pull around.
Thank you. This is great. My God. Good thing they don't have these back home. Done. Oh, they put sugar in the iced tea. What kind of blasphemy is this? Oh, everything is so dang green down here. And I just left a blizzard of like 12 inches of snow. I think I might have to stay down here for a couple days, months. Holy cow, look at the size of that rocket. Look at the size of that thing. That is definitely a Husker Don't. I'm gonna have to stop there on the way back. Definitely. All right, we are on a road trip. We're looking for Southeast Vintage Cycle Rescue. Got cars everywhere. Yeah, while I'm driving out here, I got to thank Pat for having me today. I'm glad I was in the area and really, really happy that I can stop by. This is gonna be an awesome, awesome day if I can find where you are. All right, let's see what 94.7 has to say. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the best radio station of all time. It's like a high school freaking house party. Love it. Bruh, Pat, did you put that Bigfoot there just for this? Pretty funny if you did. So I'm visiting Pat with Southeast Vintage Cycle Rescue. How's it going, Pat?
Going good.
All right,
Glad to have you here, Jay.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So what are we looking at here?
This is a 1964 Honda Cub. 50cc engine, electric start, back in 1964. If you can
Are you kidding me? Electric? Yeah, I'll be darned.
Yeah.
In 64.
Yes, sir. So this was brought to me by an older gentleman in my neighborhood who knew that I tinkered with Hondas. And he had actually gone through and started the process of restoring this. He did all the paint, kind of had it put together, but when he brought it here, it did not run, and none of the electrical worked. A couple interesting things about this is it's got these what appear to be turn signals, but this specific model, these were just marker lights. Other versions of this, or several variants from back in the 60s, these were actually turn signals.
Okay.
And he wanted them to be turn signals, so I had to go through and add all that to the harness, as well as repair pretty much all of the harness, which was.
So where'd you get the controls off then? Or
So
did you rewire the original ones?
So this control is what I had to source. You see, it's got a right and a left there. Actually, had to get that from CMS out of Europe.
Okay.
If you're familiar with them guys, they have
I'm not.
pretty large stash of old Honda stuff.
That is very, very cool.
Yeah. So The reason it wouldn't run is it only had 50 pounds of compression.
Okay.
So I tore the top end down.
Timing problem, or was it?
No, the valves were gone.
Yep.
And it needed piston rings. So the bore was still good. So I threw a set of rings in it that I actually had to. Believe it or not, if you haven't tried sourcing piston rings for older Hondas,
I'm sure they don't have them at Walmart.
No.
Oh, okay.
Either on Amazon either. I tried there. What you usually can't find is standard rings, because typically when someone tore an engine down,
oversized.
They weren't oversized, right? So I found somebody in Israel.
Oh wow!
Selling a set of standard rings that were still in like the old school paper packaging. So I bought those. That was on eBay.
Amazing.
Had those shipped over. Put it all back together. Rebuilt the carburetor. Again, the carburetor is very different from what we're used to seeing. I don't know if you can get it with the camera.
Squeak in here.
But it stands straight up and down.
Oh yeah, I think I've got the same one on my Trail 55.
Okay. Yeah,
I haven't looked at it closely, but it looks very similar. Yeah, I'm talking to the right guy then. He knows a little bit about him.
So the other thing that's very unique about this carburetor that probably has something to do with the age that a lot of younger guys are not familiar with is the term tickle the carburetor. Are you familiar with that?
I've never heard that.
I'd never heard it until I was looking at some old Triumph bikes. So there's a button over here on top of the float bowl. And really, instead of choking, you basically push that button, and what it's doing is it's kind of flooding, it's pushing the float down, and it's flooding it with gas, essentially.
Kind of like an accelerator pump?
Kind of, but it's not pumping, it's pushing the float down and letting it overflow.
Interesting. Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
So, let me go ahead and start this up.
Yes, sir. Wow, that sounds great. That sounds fantastic.
Hasn't been running in a while.
Yeah.
In its defense.
So has your neighbor seen it yet?
He has not.
He has not.
He's out of town on vacation.
So I will have to wait to edit this video.
No, you'll be fine.
All right. I didn't want to ruin anybody's surprise.
He's a big YouTuber, so.
All right.
But you know, the other thing is this is it's a 3-speed.
Yep.
Semi-auto clutch, so there's no hand clutch. Very similar to a lot of the other Honda 3-speeds with no clutch. And I can tell you one thing that this is not, it's fast. But yeah, everything works. Lights work. Oh yeah, I didn't show you the turn signals. It likes to be running for that. Let me start it back.
No problem. Put a little beep flasher on it?
Yeah.
I like it. Good work, sir. So what you got going on here?
So this is actually a K2 Honda Z50. Probably noticed right away that something special is going on here.
Yeah.
This is a Chinese clone 140cc 4-speed semi-auto, no hand clutch.
I'm curious about this.
Yeah, it's close. I'm going to trim it. That's why you see those nuts are off there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be trimmed. Right now what I'm sorting out is I'm going to run this 26 millimeter Nibby carb on here, and I've got some interference issues.
Yep, been there.
So I think where I'm at right now is I'm going to just turn it out to the side. That's not my preferred way of doing it. I am considering mounting it here, and I've saw another guy do this, is drill the tank and weld a steel tube in there to route the throttle cable through so I can get...
Oh, that looks sharp.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Interesting, yeah.
These wheels are actually, these came originally with 8-inch wheels.
Okay.
These are actually 10-inch aluminum wheels. This is a reproduction gas tank.
Okay.
This started out as a frame. That's all I had. Someone gave it to me.
Just the kind of project I like.
Yes. Got a new seat. You know, I've been collecting parts for this for about 3 years. Just when I see something, I grab it. You know, here's an original headlight bucket. If you've ever looked for one of those are extremely hard to find.
Are there anyone making reproductions?
They are.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty
it's one
rare
of those
find
deals.
there.
it's one of those deals that, you know, the guys who want the original, they know when you have a reproduction.
And this is still there. It's not snapped off.
The end of May, Barber Motorsports Park has a small bore fest. And it's an event for motorcycles dedicated strictly to, I think it's 250cc and below. And one of the events they have there is drag racing. I think you know what the rest of the story is.
Yes, sir.
I plan to take this down there and hopefully not hurt myself in the process, and drag race it.
I like it.
And I think they're running, I don't know the distance you run it, it's not very far. It's not even 1/8 of a mile. So you really want something that can get there quick, you know, on the bottom end, not looking for top.
Probably the hardest part will be keeping this guy on the ground, yeah. So yeah, I saw this as soon as I walked in. Yeah, that's of all your videos. This was always my fave. Or
good to hear that.
of all your videos, yeah, I've watched. Yeah, that is a good looking little bike.
Project Old Krusty, I call that.
Yeah.
Bought that off of a guy, and if you watched my videos, I refer to him as Bubba.
Okay.
Because he had bubbed some things up on it.
Yeah.
When I got it from him, the whole top end and cylinder was removed, and the piston was just hanging in the wind. Turn signal.
Interesting. That is never seen that before.
I'd say it's restored mechanically. My goal was to kind of keep the original patina, as you can see, just because, you know, it's only original paint once. Mm-hmm. It's easy to repaint a bike.
Yep. Yes.
And that's the original gas tank.
Liner inside of it, or is
there's a Pour 15 liner in it.
Yep, I use the same ones.
If you do end up watching my videos on this, that's the worst gas tanks you've probably ever seen in your life when I started with it.
Excellent.
So,
yeah, folks at home, if you want to check out Pat's videos, his channel is right here at Southeast. I can never say the word, Southeast Vintage Cycle Rescue. Yeah, be sure to check him out. He has got some beautiful projects and some really cool videos over there. So, what are we going to work on today, Pat?
So this is what I call my big block.
Yeah.
Big block CT7. This is a original Honda 1969 build K0 CT70 frame. Everything else you see is not original. But currently it has a Chinese knockoff 140cc motor in it. Mm-hmm. It's dialed in. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not big enough. That's where this guy comes into play. This
190?
212.
Oh, we're going with the real big dog.
Yeah, this is the 212.
At that.
212 knockoff engine. You know, this is basically 3 times the original displacement that this bike came in. And we're gonna stuff that in here in a minute.
That is going to be great.
But I've got several parts on here that I'd like to kind of point out that I'm really happy with.
That is a beauty. Yeah.
The inverted front suspension. This is from Bart Moto. I'm sure you can put a link to his website.
I'll put a link.
There you go.
Right there, and also in the description and in the comments below.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's nice about this is it's actually adjustable. It has adjustment, and it actually does something. It's not just clicking for nothing. Mm-hmm. I had a different version of this on, and I ended up getting this from Bart Moto, and it really worked out nice.
It's good to hear. I might be in the market for one of those in the near future. I like it.
And then the exhaust as well is from Bart Moto. What I really like about this exhaust is that it preserves the look of the original K0, you know, shield. Mm-hmm. So it looks, from a distance, it looks original.
And weren't the K0s, weren't they chromed or stainless on the pipes itself? Yeah.
And another thing you run into with a lot of the, you know, I call them Chinese exhausts. They're patterned off of the CT70 clone bikes.
Gotcha.
Which didn't have the standoff. So the brackets, got a curve in them. I know you've seen it.
I usually grab the longest crescent wrench I have and bend away.
Exactly. So I was really impressed that this actually has an original style straight bracket, because I like to have that piece on there because it belongs there, you know.
All right, folks, what do you think here of all of Pat's creations and our project today? I'm gonna not have the project on this video, you're going to have to jump over to Pat's channel, Southeast Vintage Cycle Rescue. Link on the first comment in the description to check out the engine swap. So yeah, once you get done with this video, click down below and we'll see you over there. Woo! That sounds hot.
It's no comparison.
All right, I hope you liked this episode of Bigfoot Bikes and Brews. Click on one of the videos here if you want to see some more. And please click on the Bigfoot button to subscribe to the channel and join in on the fun. See you next week.